I'm in Roswell, New Mexico, a place long associated with shiny flying objects. And today, I'm looking at something that fits that bill. There is one distinction between the one that put this town on the map and this vessel, in that it is far from being unidentified. In fact, what it is and its history is very well known and documented. It's this, a 1962 Lockheed JetStar L-1329, and it was owned by the one and only Elvis Presley. He bought it for $840,000 in December of 1976, just shy of a year before his death. Now, a little about the model's history. The JetStar was manufactured from 1957 all the way through the late 1970s. After two prototypes, another 202 production examples were built at Lockheed's Marietta, Georgia facility. It underwent its first flight in September of 1957. The same month, RCA released Elvis's single, Jailhouse Rock. The JetStar was groundbreaking, being considered as America's first executive jet. Versions were used by the Air Force, and it was no stranger carrying presidents, celebrities, and musicians. And who could forget the one seen in the 1964 James Bond film, Goldfinger? When it comes to size, the plane is 54 feet 5 inches long with a wingspan of 60 feet 5 inches. Overall height is right at 21 feet tall. They're gone here, but powering this jet would have been 4 Pratt & Whitney engines, 2 on each side, clustered in pods, mounted here at the rear of the fuselage. Put into use, they would allow for a max speed of around 565 miles per hour, with a range of nearly 3,000 miles, cruising at an altitude of around 40,000 feet. Inside the JetStar, there was room for 8 to 10 passengers, staffed with an onboard crew of 3, 2 pilots and 1 cabin attendant. Now, moving to this plane's history, from December of 1961 through September of 1962, it was leased before it was sold to the Morton Salt Company in November of 1962. They owned it through July of 1976, at which point it was sold to Omni Aircraft Sales. Then 3 days before Christmas of that year, Elvis purchased it from them with his dad Vernon signing on as power of attorney. It was not his first aviation acquisition, with the musician purchasing and owning several other planes, all of which he bought in fairly rapid succession. With an extremely busy tour schedule and the need to transport the Colonel, his TCB band, backup groups, and the Memphis Mafia to venues all around the country, he soon amassed his own personal fleet of aircraft to help with logistics. 2 of those planes are currently on display at Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee. There's a Convair 880 that Elvis bought in April of 1975, which he named the Lisa Marie after his daughter. Its call sign was Hound Dog 1, named of course after his hit 1956 song. The other is another Lockheed JetStar, that one being built in 1960. Elvis acquired it in 1975 and named it the Hound Dog 2. Because of the busy flying schedule, Elvis had several pilots on retainer, including one named, appropriately enough, Milo High. Heading inside the plane, you can see the current status of the cockpit. And then as we move further back, you can see there's an area here for storage where you could put luggage or instruments, with another area for hanging storage here where you could hang garments and jackets. Tucked away on this side, behind these doors, that's where you'll find the onboard AV system. The plane is equipped with a cassette player. You've got slots here for cassette tapes, with the larger slots holding VHS tapes, with the player here, because you can watch onboard movies, and you would do that with the TV that's here, hidden behind these doors. And then of course, for all the passengers on board that want to listen in, each of the seats have these headphone plugins. So you could plug in a set of headphones and listen in to music or the movie. So there's a couch on this side, and then these captain's chairs do swivel and recline. Got this red velvet upholstery on them, with that gold hardware being a common theme throughout the plane. And then as we come back, there's a suede headliner, and tucked behind these rails you'll find ambient lighting that could be turned on. And then moving further back, we've got the galley portion where meal prep would have occurred. You've got on this side, you've got a microwave and you've got storage. These trays would have been where maybe some first class meals would have been stored. Over here, you've got a beverage dispenser, all kinds of additional cubbies. Now, at the rear, that's where you will find the onboard restroom with that red and gold theme continuing all the way throughout it. And then finally on the right hand side, you've got room for additional storage. As you can see, the old bird is in need of some tender, loving care. But for those who aren't afraid of taking care of business, they'll have their chance at acquiring this unique piece of Elvis history at Mecum's upcoming 2023 Kissimmee auction. If you want to find out more, head over to mecum.com and be sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more Mecum on the Move.